The more we invest, the worse it becomes. What do you think is wrong?
No, I think there are certain feelings that, with the greatest respect, cannot be justified in the present situation. You see, a society evolves with its own problems, depending on its structure. Let me give you an example. The Boko Haram is predominantly in the northeast. It's not a fact that you can say is not correct. The banditry is in the northwest. You can't say it's not correct. So these are issues that the previous injustices that we have done to ourselves collectively and individually are manifesting. It is only unfortunate that they are manifesting now when this government is in place. And that is the reason why that the government, having not directly been responsible for this situation, should be assisted with whatever assistance from any responsible citizen of this country to ensure that we put this behind us. Like I have said, whether anybody likes it or not, the truth is, this country will remain one. Because the factors that bring the country together are stronger than the ones that seek to divide us. And I think that every responsible Nigerian should understand this and go into it and make sure that he gives his or her own contribution to ensure that we have a very formidable, resilient country where we can at least begin to love ourselves, do justice to ourselves, and build a society that every citizen of this country will be proud of. This is how, and it's a collective responsibility.
In the calculation of the opposition,
yeah,
the party, your party, APC, has lost every justification to say it wants to continue ruling Nigeria after 2020.
Well, they have equally lost every justification to say that we have not done our best in view of the fact that they brought us to where we are, you know, having ruled the country from the beginning of democracy to where we are today. That's a fact. Let's be honest, let's be sincere. The most unfortunate thing is that politicians crisscross from PDP to APC, and therefore, depending on what side of the divide they are, they find it convenient to now run down the party in government. But I think that if you look critically at what is happening, you will see that the more the thing changes, the more they remain the same. What we need are patriotic Nigerians with zeal and commitment to build a virile nation. That's what we need. Not politicians who are playing to the gallery. That's how I see it. I have always said it. How can you hold a very responsible position in this country and ride on the platform of lies to continue to demarcate your country to the international community? It doesn't make sense. So I think that people who see this country as a country worth living in should equally accept the fact that a country worth living in is a country worth dying for.
Stakeholders are expressing serious concern that the present National Assembly, this attitude towards the amendment of the Electoral Act, suggests that it's not even ready to an amended Electoral Act before the next election.
Let me tell you something. Luckily, I am a member of the Senate Committee on Electoral Matters, so I must be given the benefit of knowing what is going on. We have finished our public hearing. We have taken inputs. There are certain things that, no matter how you try to be accommodative enough, they are practically impossible. But those ones that guarantee a free, fair electoral process have been taken into account. And I'm very sure we will give Nigerians an electoral act that they will be very proud of. Well, of course, that means that every Nigerian has a responsibility to talk to his representative in the Senate and the House, to accept the fact that he must act patriotically. Rather, he must place his party above, he must place his nation above his party interests in the determination of the provisions of those electoral acts. Once we do this, we don't have a problem. I am not so sure there is any Nigerian, responsible Nigerian, who is not interested in an electoral law that gives us how do I put it, that gives us the comfort of conducting a free, fair, and credible election. These three concepts have often been, misused by people who don't know. They are distinct and distinguishable, and they are mutually repellent. It is one thing for an election to be free. It is another thing for it to be fair. It is another thing for it to be credible. The yardstick for measuring the three concepts are completely different.
What's the position of the National Assembly on electronic voting?
That will be determined when the principal law is to be considered on the floor of the Senate.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
My leader. My leader.
This is the best time that I need to come and see my president and discuss some issues of national importance. And we have had a very, very frank discussion with the president, and I'm happy to tell Nigerians that there is a commitment, real commitment, to reverse most of the concerns established by Nigerians as far as this country is concerned.
What is the perspective on the fight against Boko Haram right now? We heard earlier that Boko Haram financiers are being profiled for prosecution, and the National Assembly is also gearing up, to support the federal government. What's your perspective on that?
It's not about gearing up. I'm sure the leadership of the Senate and the House have made it abundantly clear to Nigerians that we will cooperate with the President and Commander-in-Chief on all issues regarding the administration of this great country. Our concern is that every responsible citizen of this country has a responsibility to key into this at this trying moment, because we all must have a country first before we begin to talk of our differences or whatever our concerns are that are private. So I think we are very clear on this matter.
Including funding the war against Boko Haram and kidnapping?
Of course, you know that the Senate and the House are really open. I don't have the authority to speak for both the Senate and the House, but being a responsible member and a ranking senator, you know that I should know what is happening and be given the benefit of knowing what the inclination of the National Assembly is in respect of working with the President to ensure that all these concerns are put behind us.
There is a particular concern,
Yeah.
Amongst Nigerians. Much is being invested into fighting insecurity.